Yo, dudes and dudettes, what's going on with y'all? First off, I know this is a new format. My idea is that hopefully this will allow me to make videos continuously and make them a little bit more fluent in my thoughts, so I don't have to sit there and try to think of everything I'm saying as I'm saying it, as I did whenever I was recording this on camera. Anyway, let's move on to the review. So, the book that Audible suggested to me was a book called All the Ugly and Wonderful Things, which from what I glimpsed about the About section was that this is supposedly about a daughter of a drug dealer who is trying to take care of her brother or somebody and potentially falls in love with one of her clients or something. I didn't fully put it all together, to be totally honest. I don't really know, but it just seemed interesting. So we got a slew of characters introduced to us right off the bat, and I quickly lose track of who the fuck is supposed to be who. From the description, I was expecting that this was going to be a very sad story about the daughter of a drug dealer, possibly while her father is doing fucked up shit. But apparently she's been adopted into, I think, a cousin's family? I'm very confused. So under the simple title of Grandma, the character Wavy is sent to live with our protagonist, whose name I don't remember because her dad is gay. That's what I picked up from the opening paragraph anyway. So eventually I come to understand that this book is from the point of view of Amy, who is Wavy's cousin. And Wavy is apparently weird. Just does weird things like unravels curtains and almost never talks and is sneaking out at night and eating out of the trash. Now the problem with this analysis is that it's extremely complex for a 6-year-old that is supposed to be our protagonist at this point. And it's just also not quite sophisticated enough for an adult looking back. I don't know what age our narrator is really supposed to be, I guess is my point. And therefore the weird conjecture and mix of ages just feels very, very off-putting. And our second chapter is from the point of view of Grandma. Personally, I actually kind of dislike whenever we have a flipping point of view from chapter to chapter. Not that it can't work, it just feels slightly lazy because then you get to reintroduce the same character every chapter through a new character's point of view, and it feels a lot like padding to me. And honestly, I would just much rather the books focus on just one character's point of view and give them growth, but that takes effort. I would respect this book a lot more if it was from Wavy's point of view, is what I guess I'm saying. Which is funny that I say that because the next chapter actually is from Wavy's point of view. And this is actually a really good chapter because we see the world the way that she sees it. And it talks a lot about her behavior and explains why she's such an unusual child. She didn't speak a lot, but she listens and watches the world and sees the way that others treat each other, which is a lot of lies and cheating, which helps lead to why she thinks the way that she does. So we see that Wavy's mom, I think named Valerie, is a drug addict ex-con, and apparently she has a really aggressive form of OCD, and that she's willing to literally pour steaming hot water onto her daughter to try to keep her clean, which is actually kind of severely fucked up, but not in a sense that I don't believe it, just in a wow, what the fuck, to introduce this in a kind of way. So we continue learning more about Wavy and her home situation and how it affects her at school, and it actually gets really, really deep and emotionally gripping. So while I admit there was a heck of a brick wall to break down to get into this, there was 1,000 better ways to introduce this whole situation and this character. It actually does get better as you go into it. And as we continue on this, Wavy begins to bond with this biker, and his odd relationship with her actually gets focused on, and it gets kind of sweet because the book spends a long time introducing someone who is a completely closed-off little girl that doesn't talk to people or won't really look at them. And eventually you see her relationship with this biker develop enough to where she can hug him, which was a really touching moment. Honestly, I was very, very surprised by the fact that I could enjoy this book because I started off not liking it at all. And then an immediate nope happens. I admit I was curious, and I thought maybe I had misread the summary because it talked about a relationship between the girl and the biker. So, just to satisfy this curiosity, I went online and read some reviews, and no, I did not misread it. This book actually includes pedophilia. I don't know how deep it goes, and I don't want to know, and I'm not going to find out. I'm stopping right here, and that's all the further I'm going to listen to this, because why the fuck would that be a thing? So, way to actually have a premise that is really hard to get into, starts to get interesting, and then immediately goes into a no zone. So, yeah, for whatever it's worth, that's as much as I read of all the ugly and wonderful things in life. And while pedophilia is certainly an ugly thing, the fact that it's attached to wonderful makes me really question this author's sanity. But, anyway, that's all for now. For whatever it's worth, here's what we filled out of the bingo card. And, yeah, that's all I'm ever going to touch this. I never want to go back to it. I never want to look at it again, and it didn't happen. But anyway, hopefully I'll be back more regularly, and I am looking forward to doing more reviews. So, until next time, drink plenty of water, tell your parents that you love them, and stroke your mustache at night.